looking for men. And that's the order that God set it up. But I hate to be the bearer of bad news, because in some cases we have men looking for men. And we have women that are looking for women. Everybody is looking for somebody. And because of this, we're living in dangerous and perilous times. Because we're living in such a messed up world, because there's much to be done. The text also tells us that the Lord, watch this, the Lord is also looking for somebody. The Lord is looking for somebody who is willing to give their all. The Lord is looking for someone who will declare, Lord, I'm available to you. My will I give to you. I'll do what you say do. Use me, Lord, to show someone your way. The Lord is looking for someone who's willing to help in the harvest of the lost. The Lord is looking for someone, watch this, who's willing to labor. Willing to labor for the kingdom. But here's the question. What is it that makes us willing laborers? What is it that separates us from everyone else? How do I make sure that I'm doing my part in the transition from the seats to the streets? You give me maybe about 10 more minutes. Text gives us 3 points to consider. We'll go over these 3 points, and I'm going to get out of your way tonight. First thing we have to do, we have to recognize the assignment that God has given. Notice what the real issue is here. He says in verse 3, he said, the harvest is truly plentiful, but the laborers are few. In other words, there's a lot of work to be done, but there aren't enough workers to do it. What kind of work? I'm glad y'all are asking these questions. The text says the harvest. This word harvest comes from the Greek word therismos. And in its verb form, it means to reap. It means to gather. It means to collect. It means to bring in. In the noun form, it refers to the crop, the produce, the product, the yield, the people, the sheep, the lost, the hurting, the unloved. I didn't go to college and major in agriculture, but the last time I looked, harvesting was done on the outside and not on the inside. Preach, Bishop. I'm doing the best that I can. I can remember going to my grandmother's house in Liberty, Mississippi. And back then, Granny would have us, didn't matter how young you were. If you were able to walk on 2 feet, you were going to work in the fields. Yes. And when you worked in the fields, you made sure that you were picking the right things. Come on in here. You made sure that you didn't come back to the house and have nothing in your bucket. I wish I had a witness here. There are people who go in week to week, place to place, Sunday after Sunday, and they're not harvesting anything. So the text is trying to teach us that we got to go outside of the 4 walls in order to get into the fields. Can go outside the 4 walls so we can reach others. Let me put it like this. We got to get up off of our blessed assurance and go into the highways and the hedges and compel men, women, boys, and girls to come to Jesus and not just simply come to church. Amen. The problem is we're more concerned with church work than we are kingdom work. We're more concerned